Hello everybody, here is D9 Games and welcome to another video from the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Last time we ended the video before we reached the final stage of adulthood, I guess. So now we'll finish the last chapter of youth, not adulthood, sorry. And then we'll see what will happen during peacetime next time. Or we'll start peacetime next time. Okay. So this is still from the last video, and now it's 19. Year 1137, summer. The overseer of Magra. Two major events take place while you are busy living your life. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the great chancellor of the empire. He has been out-cheated and sent back to his province. He is replaced by Archduke of Monia, Egerius Monrogue, the same Monrogue who sought to shut down the college. The most powerful lord in the realm finally convinced the emperor that his brother Cornelius was giving too much freedom to the lowborn. Now the policies of the empire will be reversed. Many fear that the new great chancellor will destroy the imperial code of law and other achievements of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors among the people. They say the great chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common law to be ennobled by the mantle. Well, he proposed that. Secondly, Magra, your homeland, now has a new overseer, Gaius Tempest, the other brother of Emperor Uther II. Usually the overseer of a province is its archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the emperor while the emperor's will to the locals. Yet now this age-old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tranquus Milandis is absolutely furious. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former Great Chancellor Cornelius Tempest. The noble at the Emperor's court say it is a stratagem by the Arcanian gentry who wants Gaius removed from the court's affair along with Cornelius. Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tranquin Melandis will be at each other's throats over the province. These are not bode well for their future. Only one thing is clear: Magra, your home province, is about to face great changes. So we have oversee struggle for power at -2, and then we have peace at 7. A criminal relationship. Spring is in full bloom. The city of Eterna is a sea of flowering trees. The apple trees are particularly prevalent. You see them growing everywhere in the seminary yard alone. How nice it would be to sit here with a good book, enjoying the apple blooms, getting lost in important thoughts. But there is no time for that. A recent incident has the entire seminary on edge. One of the senior seminary students has been accused of having a relationship with a witch. The Inquisition has been watching the girl for a long time. When the lovers met and the girl put a floral wreath on the student's head, the Inquisition spies saw it all. The lovers were immediately arrested. You hear about it from Janine. She looks very anxious when she comes to you to discuss the news. Are you going to watch the trial? They are only allowing priests and seminary students to attend. We have to be there. It is an important case. We could learn so much from seeing the Holy Tribunal in action. You agree to go with her. After all, the case is highly unusual indeed. Junius Diamond, one of the leaders of the new faith, has stepped forth to defend the student and the girl. You have already met the other leader of the new faith, Luke, Patriarch of Arcania. But Patriarch Junius holds much more authority. The seminary students speak of him in hushed voices and only when the instructors are not around. Junius Diamond is more than a patriarch of one of the provinces. He is an Arcanian, hailing from one of the great dynasties and the leader of the Holy Order, the Empire's finest knights in service of the Twin Church. The prosecution will be presented by Father Urchin. He is a powerful inquisitor and the head of the warden at the House of Humility, the fortress that collars all mages and subdues their will to the service of the Inquisition. You have heard of him. He is a fierce man who is ardent and merciless in service of the twins. Well, we actually had 2 interactions with him already. The day comes. The spacious courtroom is filled with people. All the seats are taken. The judges sit at the long table upon a platform. There are 10 of them, all high-ranking members of the church. To the right of them is a man in a black cassock. He's Urchin probably. His head is shaved and his back is perfectly straight. This man is Father Urchin. Well, we met him twice already. And the lawful inquisitor will present the prosecution. To the left of the judge's table stands an Arcanian. He is wearing a white cassock with a cape of white and gold on his shoulders. The Arcanian's blue hands rest on the edge of a table, and his expression is of perfect calm. This man is Patriarch Junius Diamond, will represent the defendants. To the left of him sits the accused, a young man in a seminary uniform and a young girl who looks like she just came back from the foot of the pillar. They are both bound in chains. Even from your distant seat you can see the inquisitors have shown her no mercy. The girl's face and neck are covered in bruises. There are bloody wounds on her left hand where her fingernails should be, and her right hand bears a horrible black burn. Loud voices emanate from the stalls even before the trial begins. Some chide Patriarch Junius while the other call out Father Urchin. There are more and more of those who shout with every passing minute, and soon a judge gavel can do very little to rein them in. The trial begins. Father Urchin is the first to speak. Judges of the Holy Tribunal, and you, my brethren, this is an act of sacrilege beyond compare, committed within the wall of our own seminary. This man is a venomous viper, nurtured in the church bosom. He defied all that is forbidden and engaged in an act of hideous lechery, already a malfunction, but worse yet, the object of his lust is an abhorrent, sinful witch. Whoa, harsh words, man. The young man in question looks up. The young woman, sorry. You see the color of her eyes, vibrant, radiant emerald green like the tender grass of spring. You recall a cautionary tale. Such eyes are the mark of a mage who holds sway over wildfire and nature. This blasphemer deserves nothing less than true death for what he had done. The wall of the church has no place for traitors and licentious fields? I don't know. We who bring the will of the twins to the world may afford no weaknesses. As for the witch, put her in a collar and cut off her nose so that her comely appearance may never again lead the righteous man astray. With that, Father Urchin takes his seat. The man who rises next is Patriarch Junius. He is tall as a pillar, and you feel an inexplicable power emanating from him. He takes his stand before the judges. Even before he speaks, Janine winces in disgust. To her, an ally of the new faith deserves neither tolerance nor sympathy. He is already drenched in sin, and yet he thinks he can talk justice. Junius Diamond begins to speak. May it please the tribunal, the accusation is indeed true. The young man before us is at fault. It was his duty to convince the lady he had befriended to renounce old magic, and yet he encouraged her profane practices. But Father Urchin's proposal is far too severe. I seek no lesser punishment for the witch. This is a matter of the Inquisition, but the young man need not to be executed. His life is the subject of my debate. It was not by force that the young man now stands before us. He sought the twins entirely of his own volition, and so I plead with the Holy Tribunal to spare his life. May he instead take the vow and habit of a monk and vow of silence, and be subject to corporal punishment, for the way of the church are stern but fair. This young man need not lose his life in order to redeem himself. The accusation flies from the crowd, so Junius favors mages and takes them under his wings in his province. Look at that man who dares doubt our lots and reject the Orthodox faith. We won't let your kind gain ground in Eterna. This in turn sparks a different cry. Another voice accused Urchin of being drunk with the power he has acquired by enslaving those who wield magic. Patriarch Patriarch Junius attempts to pacify his followers as accusations from the inquisitors' side keep coming. Father Urchin marks each condemnation of Junius and the new faith with an agreeable nod, his mouth a crooked smile. The crowd begins to move. Those who side with the Inquisition start pushing against the guards to exact their own brand of justice. Junior's followers do not stand still either. They raise and form a circle around the Patriarch, as well as the men and women on the trial. Accusations fly, and the air above the crowd grows hot with boiling rage. People are pushing and shoving. You hear screams of panic among the cries of outrage. You and Janine find a temporary refuge on a podium rising above a human sea. The courtroom is becoming dangerous. You must attempt to escape or risk being trampled. There is still time for either Patriarch Junius or Father Urchin to say something to calm the crowd, remind them why they are here, but they both froze in confusion, unable to rein in the closing madness. Perhaps you could make your voice heard from among the crowd, or would it be more sensible to escape the chaos of this courtroom? So we can defend the student and we'll increase our theology to 19. You shout in support of the seminary student and cite sacred scripture to back up your point. If we had eloquence of 12, we could demand punishment. You yell an accusation and condemn the defendants. If they are forgiven now, this will all happen again, or we can flee the court. You take Janine by the hand and start pushing and shoving through the crowd to escape the courtroom. Well, due to the fact that we want theology, we'll defend the seminary. You take a deep breath and shout. The seminary student is not a full priest just yet. He has not undergone the second sacrament. He must not be judged by the laws of the clergy. Assisting a witch is a crime, but a commonest punishment for this crime should be not as severe as this. Then you hear the voice of Patriarch Junius above the crowd. He repeats what you said almost word for word. This young man is still a commoner. He has not accepted his new lot yet. He cannot be judged a commoner by the law of the clergy. A monk is what he shall become, and though his prayer and his oath of silence, he shall fulfill his lot and reach the peak of the pillar, but only then. The din of the crowd dies down. The disturbance dissipates as everyone hears your words spoken with the authority of Patriarch Junius. Everyone takes their seat again, and the trial continues. After a brief discussion, the judges side with the defense. Father Urchin and the Inquisition take the girl away. The monks deal with the young man. The lovers can do nothing but exchange a brief farewell glance. All eyes are on Patriarch Junius, the man who prevailed in this case. You glance at Janine. Her eyes are narrow slits as she stares you down. He knows full well who said these words that the Patriarch repeated. I'm still weak in battle, but my theology is almost at the prophet level. The second sacrament. You want to speak to Janine again, but she disappeared the next day. Someone says she was sent somewhere else to study. Strange. Why did she tell you nothing? Why did she not say goodbye? You keep waiting for news from her at first, but as the days go by, your thoughts turn to the upcoming exam and the second sacrament. All the sacred scriptures, holy procedures, and sacred hymns have been memorized long ago. You know the name of every disciple, of the elder and the younger, all the patriarchs of the provinces, and the very first of the present day. From the very first to the present day, And most importantly, your faith is strong and your confidence is unshakable. The exams are behind you now. On the day of your second sacrament, you come to the great temple of the twins already dressed in a prince's cassock. Father Jeremiah holds your belt in one hand. He will conduct your sacrament. His other hand holds a sacred book. You are to kiss it to show your complete submission to the will of the twins. You approach the altar. On the commoner's side, the jagged floor hurts as it bites into your bare feet, but there is a hint of pleasure in that pain. You kneel before Father Jeremiah on the lowest of the steps leading to the altar. He speaks the words of your new lot above you. Thou shalt now carry the will of the twins to the world. Whosoever cometh with thee, thou shalt give him guidance. The twins are love and will and law. Thus shalt bring it to the world. Thy new lot is to interpret the lots and give counsel in faith. Arise, priest. You kiss the book and send up confidence blooming within you. You know the answer to all the questions. You are now a messenger of the true word, the one who carries the true understanding. You have the power to guide people toward a righteous path and help them see the truth, to help them find the answer. For the twins' will it so. New strength fills you. By the grace of the elder, you may pray to him to heal and cure those who suffer. By the law of the younger, you may pray to him to bind your foes with wondrous power. When no one is looking, you reach for your back. The mark of your lash is gone. You feel as though you can breathe more easily now. On the morning after, you conduct the sacrament for the first time. You walk in a small temple on the outskirts of Eterna. Acolytes are running to and fro, preparing for the ritual while you repeat the words of the lots that you must tell the children. Slowly the temple fills with people. You stand at the altar now, the sword in one hand and the lash in the other. 3 boys are to receive the sacrament today, a little nobleman and 2 low-born boys of the same age. The noble boy parents are nervous and ask you to hurry with the sacrament as you begin. With confidence and proper peace, you recite the words of the noble's lot to the little boy kneeling before you. Then you carefully bring the flat of the sword to his lips. The boy kisses it, and you thank the twins under your breath. Now it's time for the commoner children to receive the sacrament. You notice movement in the temple out of the corner of your eye. Someone is standing in the doorway. It is a silhouette woman. You recognize her. She looks stern now, harsher, but the most striking feature about her is her eyes. They are cold yet curious. Something gleams on Janine's belt now. It is the silver seal of the Inquisition. Do continue, priest. The boy stands before you just like you and Nathan when you were boys. You are just like them at your first sacrament. The elder of the two kneel on the jagged floor. He winces slightly but holds back the tears. You recite his new lot for him and strike him twice with the lash. His shoulder yet tremble. He shudders yet humbly accepts the first suffering of his life. They bring the other boy to you next. He is kicking and squirming and his face is red with tears. They force him to kneel and he falls on all fours. The floor draws blood from his hands. Adult hands hold him still. Adult voices chide him angrily. You say the word of his new lot and strike him once with the lash. The lash cuts right through the boy's shirt and soaks it with blood. The boy cries, turn to screams. You raise your hand slightly and notice Janine's watchful eyes. She is still there, waiting. You look back at the boy. He looks so much like Nathan, just as frightened, just as distraught, just as defenseless. You hesitate, unsure what to do. The ritual must be finished by your lot. You must bring forth the will of the twins and perform the sacrament of suffering. But this little boy, huddling at your feet, is so young. He will no doubt see so much suffering in his life. Perhaps you should show him that the world can be merciful too. Have mercy on the child. You tell the child to rise. The sacrament is done. I cannot do that. Or we will. You whip the boy a second time with all your might, just as the sacrament demands. Well, I will have to, cause this would bring me nothing. So I'll have to do it. You cast away all doubt. You muster all your will, and the lash cuts through the air and strikes the boy's back again. His skin parts. His blood drips on the floor. The boy gasps for air, doubled over in pain, then sags in the acolyte's arms. With a stern voice you tell him to rise and live by the lot he has been given. The boy barely gets back to his feet, then walks back to his mother, panting. You hand the sword and lash to an acolyte, and then turn to face the altar and say a quick prayer to the twins for this day. You hear quiet footsteps behind you. I'm glad to see that you didn't hesitate. You must never show mercy if you are to carry out the will of the twins. You help that boy understand the full burden of his loss. This is a blessing that will guide him towards the peak of the pillar. Janine puts her hand on your shoulder, yet she hastily removes it as both of you hear a powerful voice that would make anyone shudder. You sure have a steady hand, brother DNA. You hastily turn around to see Inquisitor Urchin appear from the shadows. He has been watching your watching you perform the sacrament this whole time? Father Urchin, you are correct after all. Brother DNA is ready to become one of us. This is for me to decide. Janine fronts but falls silent, pursuing her lips. Urchin turns his heavy gaze to you. For 2 years I have been watching you, DNA. Now the time has come for you to join our ranks. Urchin hands you a scroll marked with the silver seal of the Inquisition. Brother DNA, the Church is appointing you as an inquisitor. You are to return to your native land and protect our true faith against heresy. Janine pierces you with an intense stare. You bow your hand and accept the scroll from Urchin's hands. Then you solemnly fasten the Inquisition insignia to your belt. By the will of the Church and the gods themselves, you are now a servant to the Holy Order of the Inquisition. Henceforth, your life belongs to the Order. You shall fight against any apostasy that threatens the Church and her flock. Cast aside your doubt, Inquisitor Brante, and be ready to fulfill your new righteous duty. Prepare yourself to set out for Anisot. A special assignment awaits you there. Sister Janine will accompany you as a fellow Inquisitor. She will tell you everything else you need to know. I don't necessarily like the idea. With that, Urchin abruptly turns away and leaves the temple. Your answer is not required. The will of the Church is law, and you must abide by it. Well, I'm scared to say that either my brother or my sister are, like Nathan or Gloria, are to be punished by the Inquisition. You are left alone with Janine. Your sister in faith betrays no emotions. Her words sound sharp and dry. The time has come to bid the capital farewell, Brother DNA. We are leaving for Anisot tomorrow. With that, Janine leaves you alone in the temple. You turn back to the altar and finish your prayer. I'm still prepared for anything. Let's hope that I am. Sacrament of the Priest. You have received the second sacrament. You are now rightfully ordained as a priest. Year 1137. Winter. Diamond stands trial. Just before you leave the capital, you overhear something unusual on the streets. Junius Diamond, preacher of Astinia, and one of the leaders of the new faith, will stand trial before the church tribunal. The Order of the Inquisition has accused Patriarch Junius of patronizing blasphemous witches and discementing heresy. The Holy Tribunal claims that Junius Diamond was scheming to free all witches and sorcerers from the collars that fettered their accursed powers, and what's worse, the Patriarch was also accused of forming the Lawless, a dangerous secret society based in the imperial capital. Members of the society have been assaulting inquisitors and priests of the church, as well as freeing witches from the cleansing fire and helping them escape the holy law. Now the patriarchs must face the holy tribunal of Inquisition in Eterna. By all accounts, this is a devastating blow to the new faith, and the end of days for Junius Diamond himself. The Inquisition will make the most of this opportunity to get rid the land of this unwelcome patriarch who dares to shake the foundation of the old faith. But then comes the sudden news. Patriarch Junius' reply to the Holy Tribunal is no less stunning than the accusation. These words are nothing but lies. I will say this to anyone who dares bring this accusation against me in person, but I want those hypocrites to bear the full weight of their responsibility for this slander against me, my flock, the Diamond Dynasty, and the Holy Order. I agree to stand trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I will face them on my own land and on my terms. Patriarch Junius has already received strong support from Patriarch Luke and many priests across Arcania. Parishes of the new faith throughout the empire are now speaking out in support of Junius Diamond. The Church of the Twin Gods is about to rend in twine. The Inquisition has no choice but to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. Their new official stance is that Patriarch Junius has been wrongfully accused and that the Holy Tribunal will now apply more cautious judgment during any further trial against the followers of the new faith. Following the teachings of Patriarch Fotis is no longer seen as a heresy by the Inquisition. The trial of Junius Diamond has been averted, but the divide within the Church is only deepening. The new faith has directly challenged the old faith. The result is uncertain, depending on who you ask. Some say Junius Diamond all but pled guilty. Others believe that the Patriarch and the allegation rebellious against the Church as well as the Inquisition is nothing but a ruse. There are also people who think the entire situation sounds like one of the secret clergy's dirty deeds. One way or another, the Patriarch of Astidia and co-leader of the new faith remains at his post. But for how long? How will the old faith and the new faith clash next? Schism. I think schism has been averted with a -1. Farewell to the capital! The Reglata and Talirna rivers meet outside the city walls. You have barely left the capital since you came here all those years ago. A breeze is blowing in your face, and the bright June sun hangs above the shining pillar. Your stay in Eterna has come to an end. You arrive here a boy, full of hopes and aspirations, driven by your family's expectation and desire to live your life as you saw fit. And now you have to leave, and these thoughts fill you with gentle sadness. Eterna did not become your home, and yet here you realize that you can be a messenger between the will of the twins and the people. And yet here you realized, okay, you are the hand that shows the way, the interpreter of the gods, and the man who guides others to the peak when they depart from thereafter. You have never felt so close to the twins, but now you can carry with you the love and wisdom of the elder and the law and power of the younger. After your sacred sacrament, you started seeing the twins' presence in this world everywhere. What will you see back in your hometown or by the silver tree? You have been chosen to serve the Inquisition. Now you are more than a mere priest. You are the shield of the church that wards away its enemies and the false doctrine. A pain in your chest right under the twins' cross echoes through. The schism between the church and the new faith began in Anisote, but the city is still your home. Changes are coming. As an inquisitor, you will have to face them. You think of Sister Janine often. She was your only companion during your years of study in the seminary, and now she will teach and assist you in your service to the Inquisition. What is the connection between you? Who will you become? Who will you become for one another? You exhale and close your eyes, feeling the riverside wind blowing in your face. Many things must have changed back home by now. Does mother still pray to the twins 3 times a day? What about the others? They used to repeat the sacrament word after her back then. What about now? Nathan probably follows mother's example. Every letter he has sent you has been filled with elation over your choice of the priest's lot. Nathan failed to enter the seminary of Anisote. He said he got too nervous, and he wrote that he was ashamed of not being able to follow in your footsteps. But being ashamed of failure is against the commoner's lot. You wrote back, a commoner must humbly accept failure, just as he would accept any other kind of suffering. Sorry, brother. You should cheer Nathan up by bringing him a souvenir from the capital that will remind him of you, a token of love that says you believe in him. After giving it some thought, you head to the temple for a prayer book. You find the great temple of the twins surrounded by the usual calm and quiet. There are no loud voices coming from the people, no loud cries from the merchants. You approach a small bookstore by the temple ground and examine the prayer books one by one. You search for one with the proper prayers for everything Nathan needs. For the good of the family, for humility, for meekness, and for following one's lot. A small book finds its way to you. The sturdy leather cover feels good in the palm of your hand. You thumb through the prayer book and nod. Everything you are looking for is here. You leave the capital in the morning after in a carriage hired by the Inquisition. Eterna, the city where you spent 4 years, slowly disappears on the horizon. Will you ever see the capital again? You do not know. The prayer book is in your hand. Well, here we didn't have the choice, so I'm pretty sure that if we picked differently, we'll probably had something that would allow us to make a choice. Homecoming. After 4 years in the capital, you return to your home city of Anisote. Reach the threshold of adulthood. End of youth. The years of your youth have come to an end. The time has come to leave the capital behind and return to your family and new businesses in your hometown of Anisode. The years away from home were full of turmoil and hardships. Your adult shoulders now bear the burden of your first life-changing decisions. Did you have the freedom to choose this lot for yourself, or was it your destiny all along, ever since your childhood years? All you can do now is follow the path that lies before you. Okay, so we had personal life. We arrived in the capital. We chose the priest lot. We became a shield of faith. Okay, so we are at 19. We couldn't get 20. So we are still unknown in diplomacy. We are a theologist in theology. We are a naive manipulator. We are weak in battle. We have a clear speech. We are an inexperienced schemer. And that's it. So apparently only schemer has not been increased. So then I guess this will be all for today. I have been DNA Games. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And next time I will see you when we start peacetime in the life and suffering of Sir Brante. I'm curious what that will bring. But this will be all for today. I have been DNA Games. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, have some great days. Bye.